I'm starting off this vlog very stressed out, very tired, but with a lot of hope. This week I really need to get into creating a writing routine surrounding my thesis, and because it is due soon, and I have not even started editing, and I really need to get through it. But I did choose a very difficult personal topic to be writing a thesis about. My thesis is poetry, but the topic of poetry is quite a personal one. So it's been a lot of emotional labor to be working on it. I have the pieces mostly done, but now it is the process of editing and refining and swapping out verbs and really diving further into them. Also, this week, I'm running a 5K with my sister, so I have to I have to get ready for that. I'm not much of a runner, so this is gonna be what it is. And then what else is happening this week? I also have work. I also work like a normal person job. So this is gonna be a bit much. But I've really been wanting to get my writing routine to a much better place and a much healthier place than it has been in the past. I love to write, when the winds take me, I love to write. But sometimes I can't be sitting around waiting for that, and I need to actually just enjoy the process of not knowing and kind of get over that bit of ego that needs me to have a brilliant idea or know where it's gonna end or how it's gonna end. And I do need to get past that, and it is something that sometimes I don't want to get past. Sometimes I just don't do it, and I decide that I'm gonna go on Pinterest for 3 hours instead of write for 20 minutes. And so I'm really working on getting that routine back together. Yeah, so this is the beginning of this week. Whee! I'm trying to start my day out with about an hour of writing in my journal. Ideally while sitting outside in the sun, absolutely smothered in sunscreen. I desperately need it. When I'm journal writing, it's typically just a stream of consciousness. It doesn't have to make sense. I don't need it to. I don't want it to, honestly. It doesn't really have an end goal. It's whatever is at the front of my mind, even if it's just like the words like, I'm scared, I don't know, I have no idea, and I don't know, and I won't know. And that's fine. Sometimes it's just that. Sometimes it's just that over and over again. Really, writing like this in the morning is just a way to wake myself up and engage with my brain. and I find that it really helps put me back in my body as well, especially being outside, especially being with little Aaron, who's out here today napping in the sun. I couldn't be happier. The birds are singing. It's a lovely day. Yeah, this is my ideal writing world, is sitting out in the grass in a little sun chair with a cat and the birds. It's incredible. I really recommend everybody do it. Yeah, this is just kind of a way of like preparing myself for the day ahead, which will be a lot of thinking and a lot of emotional labor, and so I'm just trying to have a little bit of time for me. I've got my matcha, I've got my sunscreen, I'm good. As you know, I'm working on my thesis, and it's going pretty well. It's a bit of a duel between me and myself, but also this like beast of a thing that I've created. It is a lot of emotional labor to be writing in this way, and to be meeting my deadlines, and it's been really hard, but it's also been very rewarding and very interesting, and I've learned a lot, but it's a lot to be tackling. I've been working on this thesis for the last, well, since September, so 9 months now, and it's just kind of been in the back of my mind since then, and just constantly surrounding my thoughts. It's changed a lot and gone through a lot of iterations, and it's gone from being more of like almost manifesto-ish to becoming kind of a lifetime like lineage piece, which has been really interesting to see it kind of come together through the process. I'm really excited to have all of my work printed out and to be at the stage of editing now. I'm also very excited for this to be over. I'm very excited for it to be over. Even though I do know that with the type of work that I've chosen for my thesis, it's never gonna be over. And I have made peace with that. I've made peace with it, I swear. But there will come a point where it's out of my hands and it's sent in, and then it's free for me to do with what I please. And it's no longer with these restrictions that are necessary for my program, for my thesis. I have several things to do this week, and quite a few people to see as well, so I'm a little concerned and nervous about conserving my energy to be doing the work that I need to do. My psychological and emotional and also physical energy. I get physically very exhausted when I write. So we're gonna see how I do, and I'm going to hopefully not be a complete train wreck by the end of the week. I'm gonna take a lot of breaks. I'm gonna take a lot of breaks. As I mentioned, I have most of my thesis work finished and printed out. They're full poems and prose, and now it's just the editing process, which I say like it is a simple, easy process. It is not. I'm the type of person who likes to print out their work and like pen and paper do their editing, just because I find like tactily it's just better for me, and also I find that I read out loud a lot more, which is better just for me and my process. I'm not very good at being an editor on the computer. I tend to miss things and my mind wanders a lot. And I will end up looking at a Scottish farm with a bunch of sheep, and I will I will just suddenly not be doing any work. I really like to mull things over when I'm working on my own work, especially, and I just say a lot more out loud, and I just find being able to mark up the whole page is it's really beneficial for me. Now, on the docket of editorial work, I am focusing on cutting weak abstraction, minimalizing conceptual language and weaving in bodily language instead, identifying verbs that don't produce action, and locating the dominant images for each piece. I also need to remove some more like cognitive phrasing that I have a habit of doing. So it's about 20 pages of work that I'm going to be going through. Ideally in the next couple days, hopefully getting them to a point where I feel like I've sharpened the overall language, and that it flows a little bit better piece to piece. I'm going to consider the overall arc of my thesis as well, between all of the pieces, and how they have a language together and how they communicate next to each other. So I have to also consider all of that, which will honestly be very fun. I love getting into those kind of nitty-gritty things. I have my colored markers, which I use to circle all my verbs and do everything, and they each mean kind of something slightly different. So that when I'm going through it, I can just hunt down that color, and I find it's a little bit faster for me. I'm gonna grab some water. I'm probably gonna grab a coffee, most likely a protein bar, and probably gonna put on maybe a jazz record. It sounds like a really good time. And we're just gonna pull through. And I'm gonna keep telling myself I'm having fun even when I'm not. To be frank, I'm not sure how much actual pleasure reading I'm going to be able to do this week. I've probably said it a million times, there's a lot of things going on. I feel pretty oversaturated. What I do want to do is read on my couch. During the day, I just like to use it as like a break time from editing, is to read other people's work. A lot of the time it refreshes my brain, so I find it very useful to be able to read. I'll probably also be reading during the evenings before I go to bed, or I'll just be doing nothing. If I don't have it in me to read, I should just do nothing. I find that I often get stuck on the scroll. I get stuck scrolling on my phone quite a lot, and then I kind of just end up in this pit of anxiety, and it is just a horrible time. It's a horrible time, so I don't want to do it if I can not do it. I'm typically pretty good at not falling into the virtual pit of doom, but sometimes I will catch myself definitely spiraling that way, and so I'm trying to be really mindful of that this week, because I just don't think I don't have the capacity for that, and I have to be really, really, really on it to not let myself go to that place. So I'm going to try and be very mindful and very kind to myself, and hopefully I'm gonna be doing a little bit of reading. That sounds great. In the theory, sounds awesome. Reality, we'll see. I also have to finish my final edit for some stuff that I sent off for like publication with a literary magazine. So basically like they send you edits, then you do the edits, then send back, blah blah blah, and you kind of go back and forth. And so I have some stuff that I gotta get all that kind of prepped for. So that's gonna be a whole thing. I kind of forgot about it, so. But I will tell you what I'm currently reading. Even if I don't end up actually reading it, I do want to talk about it. Okay. Right now I am slowly working through Joan Didion's, is it Didion or is it Didion? Didion. I'm currently working through the White Album by Joan Didion, which is a collection of essays from America, like 1960s to the 70s, and it's been a really, really fun read. I regrettably haven't read a lot of her work, so this has been like a wonderful introduction. I've been really, really enjoying it. I love her use of language. It's genuinely been fun to read essays, which that's hard for me to say. I'll definitely talk more about it probably when I'm finished it. And same with the first volume of the Diary of Anaïs. I will definitely be talking about this more when I'm a little bit more through it. I'm like a baby amount through, but I've been really enjoying it. You can see like I'm nowhere. I am nowhere in this woman's life, but I've been really, really enjoying this one too. The way that she like paints imagery and paints people has been just so much fun to get to like live in that brain has been a really great time. Yeah, they both have very evocative writing, and these are obviously my very premature thoughts. I'm not finished either of them. I'll probably have more thoughts to come, but I just wanted to talk about them because I love to read. I get so excited when I find books that are just so fantastic, and these two have been just an absolute joy to read. Hopefully gonna be reading more this week. We'll see when we can fit it in. Really, as long as I'm not on my phone, I'm gonna be pretty happy. So, oh yeah, this is my Winnie the Pooh shirt. You can tell we're going through it when this shirt comes out. I've found with my journaling this week, I've been reflecting on my life a little more than I typically would do. I believe it's because it was my birthday a few days ago, and I have a bit of a odd relationship with my birthday. Birthdays are weird things they're wrapped up in so much meaning, and I feel like there's a lot of pressure on enjoying your birthday or celebrating your birthday. And I've had, for the past several years, running quite bad luck surrounding my birthday. This year was no exception. Some not fantastic things happened, and I've just had a lot of pressure around enjoying my birthday, and because of the nature of birthdays, there's also a certain amount of trauma surrounding birthdays for me personally. And so they come with very complicated emotions and a lot of psychological waves as well. I'm very happy to be aging. I feel very grateful to be aging, as well as grateful for my friends and family and support systems, because they are the reason that I'm able to do what I do and that I continue to find passion in the things that I do. It's because of their support and their love of me that I'm able to dive into passions. And for me, my birthdays have kind of stopped being about celebrating me and celebrating my life, which is in turn celebrating the people that support me. So I've been trying to focus on that instead of my personal birthday, which has made it a lot easier and a lot nicer and a better feeling. But I get a bit of the, I guess it's birthday blues. I get a little bit of that. So it's been an odd week of reflections for the journal. It's been a bit of an odd week. We have gotten a lot of work done though.